All right, here was Shawn Jenkins of the Independence Patriots. Obviously, Shawn, a tough one for you tonight. Same thing on the other side. You guys just haven't been able to do anything, concrete as far as practice for 2 weeks. I mean, you beat Tug Valley, you're on a good roll, and then, you don't play again for 2 weeks.
It just stopped, and that's tough for us. I mean, we needed to continue to run off of that, you know what I mean? But hey, it is what it is. It's basketball. We just didn't have it tonight, man. We just didn't have it from, I told him a while ago, I listen to my gut a lot. My gut tells me a lot, man, and my guts are normally right, and I just didn't feel it from the beginning. I mean, I just didn't. That's kind of, you say, well, you're the one that instigated that. Now, I don't shoot the ball. I don't dribble the ball. I don't pass the ball. You know what I mean? I say
you don't tell them where to be.
Yeah,
you can't do it.
I tell them that all the time, and I've told all my teams that. But it just is. Some nights you have it, some nights you don't, and we just didn't tonight.
They're a tough defensive matchup anyway, because that's kind of what Coach Olson has always preached. How it seems a little even harder. Is that layoff related? Is it related to just not executing on a certain night?
Of course, their defense is part of it. You know what I mean? You got to tip your hat off to them, because they are a good defensive squad. But I saw things like, again, us not being in the gym, it just hurt us, but hurt us probably more than hurt them. You can't let one thing dictate how you play the whole game. So if you don't make a shot, you can't let that dictate.
You feel like they did that early?
Yeah, I do feel like they did. So if you can't make a shot, you can't just quit, and get frustrated because you didn't make a shot. You've got to play. You got to learn how to play through some of that, and I just think we missed a lot of dinkers there in the first quarter, man, and we had good shots. We just didn't make anything, and that just kind of dictated our outcome. But again, like I said, some nights you have it, some nights you don't. We just didn't tonight.
You got some nice wins, some nice results this year. Where can you take this team, do you think? If they're playing well, and
honestly, what I just told them, Dave, just a while ago, just walked in and just had them all sit down. I said, scrap it. This is over. Scrap this. Throw this out the window. Here's not just scrap it, because we got to get back in here tomorrow. We got to get back to practicing. We got to get back to playing games. We got to get back to practicing, and that rhythm of that grind. Is kind of what we need. We need that, man, extremely bad. And so, this week kind of hurt us not having that, and we just need to get back to the grind and get back to it.
I think that this is your third year, I believe. So fourth year. So you haven't been here a long time. It's been hard for Independence to beat Shady. Is that even a thing that you guys even consider?
It's a
thing. Got 19. Olsen's like 19-0 or something.
Yeah, it's a thing. We want to beat them.
Exactly. How do you do that?
We want to beat them. I mean, it's I remember when Coach Olson first started coaching at Shady, and we was doing that when I was at Westside. We was beating him.
Right.
And when they finally did beat us, I remember him walking over saying, that was something that we talked about all the time. Well, we talk about beating them, you know what I mean? Because I got a lot of respect for Coach Olson and the program and the things that he's done there. I got a lot of respect for him. So, we want to beat him. I mean, that they're in our county. I mean, that's part of our rival, and we want to beat them. Yeah.
Ashton Arthur coming up on 1,000 points in his career. Do you think it weighed on him a little bit today?
I don't know. Again,
their defense again is very good.
But I'll also say this, Dave. We just looked methodical. We just looked slow. We just looked lazy. We just looked,
like the beginning of the season.
Yeah, like we just didn't.
Like when you're sick for 3 weeks.
We just didn't have it. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Is it almost like starting again?
Yeah, I don't think it's almost starting again. I just think it's just you just need to get back in that rhythm. I think you give us rest of this week and give us a couple games. We'll be ready to go. But I know one time there was a couple balls that were bouncing, and instead of our kids reacting to it, they was looking, waiting for somebody else to do it. We can't do that. You know what I mean? Our reaction time didn't look good. I mean, we looked slow, we looked methodical, and just is what it is. And you say, well, that's your fault. Well, hey, I'm the coach. I'll take the blame, and that's okay.
Well, you can't dictate the weather. If you can, just mess it up.
But we just got to get back in the grind, man. We just got to get back in here and get back to practicing and get back into what we were doing and get back to where we was at. And I think we will. I don't really worry about us not getting back there. I really think we'll get back there, and I think we'll get back there fast. Yeah.
Shawn, I appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Sir.